There they are.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
We started off the broadcast tonight with the president's cabinet shakeup, and that's, of course, only a fraction of what's unfolded over the last 102 days of the second Trump administration. The question is, what are voters making of it all?
All right, folks. CNN thought that they could sit down with these 3 black Trump supporters and get them to cry about voter regret. And they wanted that juicy soundbite to push their tired narrative that Trump's base is crumbling. Well, guess what? They got schooled instead. These black conservatives laid out exactly why they love Trump, why they're done with the Democrats, and why they'd vote for him again and again and again in a heartbeat.
CNN's Van Jones has been talking to Trump supporters dating back to 2016. He is, as you know, a Democrat who is a former senior advisor to President Obama. For tonight's report, he met with a small group of black voters, a man and a woman from South Carolina and another woman from North Carolina, all of whom voted for President Trump. CNN's exit polling shows Mr. Trump got 8% of the black vote in 2016, and that grew slightly into the teens over the next 2 elections. Here's Van's report from Greenville, South Carolina.
You guys, my loyal viewers, subscribers, patriots, MAGA warriors, you've told me how much you love seeing a black conservative like me, myself, expose the left's hypocrisy, the media's lies, and the Democrats' plan to tear down America. So let's break this down and show why this CNN segment and Van Jones has proven that we are winning. Do me a favor. I don't want anything else from you guys besides your likes. Please like the video and let's dive in.
No, actually, I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole. I like authenticity.
Middle finger to my haters. Are you bitch jealous? Fuck y'all.
You voted for Obama then you voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, but 2020 you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
All right. First up, one of the guys on CNN, a former Biden voter, said he loves Trump because he's, well, let's just say he's real, okay? And you know what he meant, right? And so do I. Trump doesn't talk like those robotic politicians with their scripted word salads. Think Kamala Harris cackling her way through a non-answer. He's blunt, he's crass, he's in your face, and he doesn't care who gets offended. Reminds me of somebody else I know. And that's what your comments on my videos always highlight. You're sick of polished liars in suits who say one thing and then do another, or worse, do nothing. And Trump's the guy who says what he means, whether it's calling out China, slamming the fake news, or fighting for you and us, the American people. This brother on CNN gets it. He's done with the Democrats' fake promises and their globalist buddies who want America to bow down. Trump puts America first, and that's why we're with him.
I began listening to someone, her name is Candace Owens, and I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this person that I have been led to believe that he was.
So you voted against Trump in 2016.
Yes.
But then in 2020 you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
What are some things that he's doing that you do like?
For me,
Then we've got the 2 ladies who dropped truth bombs. How good was that? One said she voted for Obama and Hillary, but switched to Trump in 2020 after Candace Owens opened her eyes. The other saw Trump's first term, booming economy, stronger borders, better foreign relations, and said, this guy's actually delivering.
I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community. So that's the reason why I support him on that border policy.
Listen, as a black conservative, I know exactly what they're talking about. Growing up, you're surrounded by Democrats. It's like a cult almost. And you're told the Republicans are the enemy. And if you dare think for yourself, you're a sellout or an Uncle Tom. Sound familiar? Yeah. You guys, yeah, you've seen the left's playbook. Keep black folks on the government plantation, hooked on handouts, while they let illegals flood in and take resources from our communities. These ladies woke up and realized the Democrats don't care about us. They just want our votes, and then they want our money. Trump's policies, from jobs to border security, actually help black Americans, and that's why more of us are joining the MAGA movement.
When you think about the border, you think about people coming here who are getting more help than people who live here and who were born here.
Yeah. And I got that perspective not from news channels. I got it from social media. TikTok is like a holy grail.
If they've got money for that, then why aren't they fixing schools in Chicago or helping veterans on our streets? Your comments on my videos always call this out. You're furious at the left's priorities, and so am I. And this brother didn't get his info from CNN or MSNBC. He got it from social media, from real people on TikTok showing what's happening. The mainstream media, they're too busy covering up Biden's disasters and Kamala's failures. They lied about the border crisis. They lied about the economy, and they're still lying about President Trump. But we see through it. And so do these black Trump supporters.
We even see it with the things that we learn about the United States government outside of the United States. People are showing Americans, hey, look at what's going on. Do y'all know that your government is doing this? Have you seen this? Have you looked at it from this perspective?
All right. Now, the guy on CNN hit a nerve when he said he backs Trump's border policies. Why? Because he's tired of illegals getting benefits that should go to Americans, especially black communities. You've heard me say this before. The same Democrats who cry about systemic racism or handing out free healthcare, housing, and jobs to people who broke our laws to get here. Yes, they are criminals.
Trump administration, they like to say, and this is what Trump ran on, right? He said, we're only going to go after the quote unquote criminals. Yeah, exactly. We're only going to go after the quote unquote criminals. However, their position is that everyone undocumented is a criminal. That's what they think. They think that the DACA recipient, that the baby that was here from 2 years old, whose only country they have ever known is the United States, that maybe have served in this country or now is a doctor, is a quote unquote criminal. They think that folks who are undocumented are that. But on top of that, they're not even just going after undocumented people. They are making people undocumented by revoking legal status.
You know, people, when they think about a Trump voter, they usually think about like a white dude with like a red hat on and a pickup truck. And y'all are not that at all. So Donald Trump's team went in, they took down Harriet Tubman's picture for a quick minute. They're trying to like knock out the black museums. What does that have to do with the price of eggs, and how does that impact you?
In some ways, it's a slap in the face. In other ways, I don't care. I care more about how I'm going to take care of my children.
I don't think the average American cares about that. I know I am sick and tired of seeing black people sit there and complain about something, but not taking action and steps to actually try to change things in an appropriate manner.
All right, let's cut through the noise here, folks, and get to the heart of what's happening with President Trump's education reforms. This is about a bold, meaningful push for change, restoring meritocracy, ditching divisive DEI programs, and refocusing education on what matters. Results, not endless grievance culture. Trump's team is moving fast to replace DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, with a system that values merit, your skills, effort, and results. DEI often pushes quotas or preferences based on race or group identity, which can feel unfair to folks who just want a level playing field. On April 23rd, 2025, Trump signed an executive order abolishing disparate impact theory, the legal backbone of DEI that assumes unequal outcomes mean discrimination, even without proof. This shift means schools and workplaces focus on who's best for the job, not checking boxes for race or gender. It's about fairness, and you succeed because you earned it, not because of your skin color or background. This resonates with Americans who believe in hard work and personal responsibility, core Republican values for which I find it hard for them to even logically stand behind checking a box for gender when most of them don't even identify by any such. Moving past racism and slavery, let's talk unity, not division. Constantly harping on racism and slavery in schools doesn't heal, it divides. Trump's reforms aim to stop this cycle, which often leaves less informed folks feeling guilty or resentful instead of united. The Department of Education under Biden pushed curriculums heavy on systemic racism and white privilege, which many see as indoctrination, not education. Trump's team, including Linda McMahon, is redirecting schools to teach core subjects, math, reading, science, history, without the divisive lens. For example, this February, the Education Department cut $600 million in teacher training grants tied to DEI and critical race theory, calling them inappropriate for promoting social justice activism over learning. This isn't about erasing history. It's about teaching it factually, not as a weapon to shame or divide. Republicans want kids learning how to think, not what to think or feel. The Department of Education has been a mess, bloated, corrupt, and failing our kids. Since 1980, it's spent over $1 trillion, yet student outcomes are stagnant. Reading and math proficiency rates are down nationwide. Trump tapped Linda McMahon, a proven business leader and former WWE executive, to overhaul it. Her mission, announced March of this year, is to send education back to the states and cut federal overreach. States know their curriculums better than DC bureaucrats, and Linda McMahon's plan empowers parents and local schools to make decisions, not Washington elites. She's also committed to keeping funding for critical programs like Title I for low-income students and special education, but running them efficiently. No more red tape strangling teachers or schools. This aligns with Trump's promise to put parents first and make education practical, preparing kids for careers, not debt. Trump's vision is simple. Get the feds out of education and let states take charge. Earlier this year in March, just a couple months ago, he signed an executive order directing Linda McMahon to plan the department's shutdown, transferring its functions like student loans and grants to states or other agencies. Most school funding, over 85%, already comes from state and local taxes. So this isn't about defunding schools. It's about cutting DC's middleman out. States can tailor education to their needs, rural, urban, or suburban, without one-size-fits-all mandates. This move also stops federal meddling in curriculums like pushing gender ideology or DEI, which many Republicans see as out of touch with family values. I know I sure do. It's federalism in action, power to the people, not bureaucrats. Now, let's talk about eliminating more waste, more fraud and abuse. Doge and Elon Musk step into the chat. Enter Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. Musk's team is laser focused on slashing waste. Big Balls is on it. And the Education Department is a prime target. Earlier this year, Doge canceled nearly $900 million in contracts for things like DEI-driven equity audits and redundant research, calling them wasteful and ideologically driven. They also axed $350 million more in contracts for regional labs pushing progressive agendas. And Elon Musk's approach, proven at companies like Tesla and Twitter already, is ruthless cost-cutting without sacrificing results. By streamlining the department, Doge ensures taxpayer dollars do go to classrooms and not bloated programs or woke initiatives, and perhaps maybe even returned in some form of stimulus or Doge dividend. Check. This is music to Republicans' ears. Less government, more accountability, or if you ask Mike Johnson, House Speaker, use that money to pay down the debt, pay down the credit card. Why does this even matter? Well, we want a stronger, more united America, don't we? These reforms aren't just policy. They're a return to what makes America great, rewarding hard work, empowering communities, and teaching kids to succeed, not stew in division. The Harriet Tubman webpage flap in February, was where her image was briefly removed, was a misstep quickly fixed by the National Park Service, not a grand conspiracy, but leave it to folks like CNN and Van Jones to attempt to use that to throw Trump under the bus. Trump's team restored it after backlash, showing they're listening, quickly acting, and the focus isn't on erasing heroes like Harriet Tubman, but on stopping the left's obsession with framing everything through race. Republicans want history taught proudly, honoring all Americans and not pitting them against each other. With Linda McMahon and Elon Musk, Trump's delivering on his promise, an education system that's efficient, merit-based, and free from federal overreach. Trump's education overhaul is a game changer. It ditches DEI for meritocracy. It quiets the divisive race talk and puts states and parents in the driver's seat. Linda McMahon's leading the charge to reform a failing department while Elon Musk's Doge cuts the fat. This is about results, folks. Better schools, stronger kids, and a united country. Share this with your MAGA friends and family. It's the America First education plan, and it's the plan that we've been all waiting for. It's the plan we voted for.
Under the Trump and Biden administration, they came to certain agreements with police departments to be less brutal toward the black community. Trump has now ended all that. How does that help the black community?
I have a lot of issues with police reform and just with how police officers are treated as a whole. My husband is currently going through the process to become a police officer. The amount of hatred that cops get, even the best ones, I think has become a huge problem because it has been, especially around election times, when it definitely comes out of like, oh no, the cops are bad, the cops hate you because you're black, they're immediately deemed as evil.
This man is talking about running for a third term. Now, what do you think about that?
And here's the part that made CNN's jaw drop. They asked, would you vote for Trump again?
My third term, for me, absolutely not. I think it's at the end of these 4 years, it's time to move on.
This is a prime example of him trolling people because people have said, like, oh, if he gets in the office, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to try to run for a third term. So he's like, okay, y'all think I'm going to do that? I'm going to mess with y'all and say this to take y'all out.
I thought you loved this man because he's so authentic and he's such a truth teller.
But you need to know the difference between somebody trolling somebody, and this is a prime example of him being a troll.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Every single one of them said yes. 1,000% yes. No hesitation, no regrets.
Yes, I would. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this next one.
She said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
1,000% absolutely yes.
And CNN's own poll backs it up.
I'm going to say something that isn't popular to say, but you know something, the Democrats need to hear this. Y'all are very, very fond of talking about how Donald Trump lies. Some of the things that have made people uncomfortable about Donald Trump, I got news for you. He hasn't lied. Didn't he say tariffs was what he was going to live by? Did he not say that he was going to close those damn borders? I believe he said that. Did he not say that he was going to address crime in our streets and things were going to get very, very bad for lawless individuals out there? Did he not provide indications that he could give a damn about the civil rights and the human rights of individuals that were considered lawless? Did he not say, or at least indicate, that come hella high water, the culture that we were living in, we were going to dial that back? Did he not talk about the LGBTQ plus community, specifically as it pertains to transgenders and athletes not being allowed to transition from male to female and be able to compete in women's sports? Did he not say these things? Yes, he did.
President Trump is beating Kamala Harris in a hypothetical rematch. And don't even get me started on AOC or Jasmine Crockett or whoever else they want to try to put out there for the Democratic nominee.
On the Democratic side, do you think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, is the new leader? Could it be Vance AOC in 2028?
President AOC, the stuff of nightmares.
You thinking about running for president?
or Senate?
Because of my Instagram post?
No, the video, the campaign style video.
Brett, thank you. You've ruined my sleep for this
Who is the
evening.
leader of the Democratic Party?
I don't know. Honestly,
Do you think about it?
I think to the extent the Democrats have a leader, Donald J. Trump is the leader of the Democratic
Because they're
Party.
against him
because they're just against everything that he does. I mean, who could possibly disagree with rebuilding American manufacturing and ensuring these steelworkers have higher wages and better jobs? But anytime Donald Trump does anything, they have this emotional response. They have to be against it.
It's got everybody talking.
No, and then you have Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Whitmer, who's doing
Okay, well, come on, man.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, everyone has their own thing.
I know,
and
but
AOC
it's so
is doing
funny
their own
because,
thing.
like, a couple of weeks ago, she got into big trouble because she was in the Oval Office and hid.
She went like
hid in the Oval. Oh, yeah, there's the. She, I mean.
Let me do a live
Okay,
reenactment.
and then this week, Trump fucking punked her twice. Called her up. He was in Michigan. I mean, it was something that, governors need the president's help on certain things, And he calls her up, which she didn't expect. And then they got a picture of her hugging him or smiling with him. Oh, there it is. And now she's history's greatest monster for that. And I would just like to say, I was trying to help her the other week. Just own it like a certain talk show host did when you meet the president. It's okay. He's the president. You don't have to.
That's not true.
That should not be wrong.
It's
that should not be wrong at all.
She got punked, and she should have been prepared, and it should have been done in a different way. Like, come into the office. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of reporters here. That was a little different.
I mean, listen, it's a video, and frankly, I think what people should be most concerned about is the fact that Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid right now, and people's health care is in danger. And that's really what my central focus is.
Who could disagree with deporting millions of illegal aliens, many of whom are violent criminals? But they have. And I think that what they do is whenever Donald J. Trump does something, they react negatively to it. They don't have real leadership. And I think it's why I'm not too concerned about 2028, because if I wake up in a fantasy world where the Democrats actually have constructive ideas about how to govern this country, that'll actually be a good thing. But if in the world that we actually live in, where they're just anti-Trump about everything, the politics of 2028 will take care of themselves.
This moment isn't about campaigns or elections or about politics. It's about making sure people are protected.
Just like he did in 2024 and whooped Kamala's ass, he will do again if push comes to shove. Now, you folks, you know why. Trump's delivering campaign promises made, promises kept, cutting taxes, securing the border, bringing back jobs, and all in 100 days, nonetheless. The Democrats, they're still whining about democracy while their policies crash and burn, and their only focus, their only concern is to attempt to impeach President Trump for doing a great job.
And Van Jones joins me now. It's interesting, most of the information that they are getting, or misinformation they may be getting, is coming from online.
Really 100%. The thing that surprised me the most was how much social media is dictating, especially the younger guy. He said, look, I'm learning all this stuff about America that I didn't know. I'm like, where are you learning from? TikTok. China. Guys, you're a Republican and you're taking the Chinese narrative about your own country to heart. But that was a big part of their whole information ecosystem.
Yeah,
social media.
They thought that they could shame us, scare us, or make us feel stupid for backing President Trump, but we're not the ones losing sleep. They are. They're waking up at 3 a.m. terrified of what Trump's going to do next to dismantle their woke globalist agenda. We're sleeping like babies, sound, knowing America's finally got a fighter in the White House. And many of you are sleeping really well, knowing you have someone on your side, a partner like Chapter, to help you navigate Medicare and the crazy, complex, complicated, overwhelming 24,000+ plans to help you. Our partner Chapter is ready, willing, and able to take your call and help you guys find the right plan for you. Give them a call, 270-467-2426, and get your free Medicare consultation, and make sure that you're not overpaying. Make sure that you're saving as much money as humanly possible. Get the peace of mind of knowing you have someone like Chapter on your side who's got your back, pretty much like President Trump does.
Does it seem to you that they follow news closely? I mean,
no, that was the other thing too. Is like, one of the women said, "Look, I do not watch any of the media." She says, "I have some influencers I follow, Candace Owens being a big deal, and Newsmax, and that is their information system." And listen, these are hardworking people. They're good people. They care about the country, but they are in a completely different information environment than people who I talk to every day.
Van Jones, thanks very much.
So, what do you guys think? I want to hear from the patriots in the audience. These Black Trump supporters just proved what you've been saying in my comment section all along. The left's lies are falling apart, and Americans of all backgrounds are rallying behind Trump. Drop your thoughts down below. Tell me and everyone how you're feeling about this MAGA coalition growing stronger every day. And if you love this video, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Make sure you call Chapter for your free Medicare consultation. Their number's on the screen, 270-467-2426, or visit askchapter.org/Kevin. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. Let's keep exposing the left, celebrating our movement, and making America great again. God bless you all, and good night.